Cheers and welcome my friends, I'm Horath and this is my point of view from the Stellaris multiplayer event. So that's what you're gonna see here. I tried to actually pull the footage together down to 20 minutes. I'm playing the Vaadwaur, as you can see, and I left this off last episode. Just took my northern neighbor and what I wanted to try in this session, which is actually, we started later, so the session was shorter, and it also was slowed down quite a bit over the course of it. So I didn't get as much done as in the last episode. I wanted to take the Kravik, but first I wanted to take my southern neighbor, so that's basically what I tried to do here. I also was still having a bit of an energy deficit, which was definitely not helping me. That is something that should not necessarily have happened, especially not in a war. It's rather nasty if you have that happen. But yeah, I was basically trying to push more planets to produce energy to support my fleet, trying to survey the whole spiral arm. I still have to expect the Borg coming over to me at some point and being nasty. I have sort of a tacit agreement with them, sort of a non-aggression pact, but then on the other hand, diplomacy with the Borg is irrelevant, as you know. I've currently 2 sectors going on, I think, and I'm very low on influence because I had to pull out some energy credits from the sector. And we first managed to move into the positive and win the negative again. All right, then the problem is that I basically inherited a planet that was still colonizing from the Northern Empire that I captured, which added another 8 to my energy deficit. So you can see that I'm colonizing Ceres Prime, and then I'm colonizing another planet, which basically adds 16 to my already strenuous power situation. So that's not all that good. I sent my fleet back to Vaadwaur so that the upkeep can be reduced a little bit. And the Kravik Empire will actually start colonizing one other planet in the north, which is not something that made me too happy, but decided I could live with it. So the problem with the southern empires was that the Nocadians were in an alliance with the, I think, Lyridians. So the greyish guys and the whitish guys are in one alliance, and then the bluish guys, the big blue guys down the south, and the grayish guys are in another alliance. So I always had to take at least 2 enemies on, which was, yeah, it's unnice, but I was stronger than both of them, so I tried to push in that direction. First looking if there was any other empire, but as far as I know, there's only sort of the sister empire of the Kraviks on Prowl, and then there's the Herc way further down that galactic arm. Okay, we're upgrading some of our designs here. It's probably good. Later on I'm actually specializing my designs. Yeah, you can see even though it's pushed up in terms of speed quite a bit, it's still only running on normal speed, I'd say, in terms of game speed, so it's actually taking quite a while to get anything done. It definitely felt like a very slow session where not a lot of stuff happened. I heard from people that things were going on in the Alpha and Beta Quadrant that were kind of interesting. If you want to see those perspectives, I suggest you go to some of the channels that I'm going to have in the video description, the other points of views, or even the observer view from Gull Gaming and Kade Morahu, who are doing a very good job, I think, of commentating on the game. These guys are going to be hosted on my Twitch channel as well when the game commences later this evening, actually. We're playing every Sunday from 9 o'clock in the evening until midnight, Central European summertime. That's the thing. I'm basically just trying to build up the fleet to the point where we're strong enough to take 2 of those southern enemies. We're already pretty strong, and I'm building another cruiser in Vaadwaur Prime. We have solved the energy crisis by now. Both planets are now done colonizing, And I've put a bunch of microfusion reactors onto the spaceports that I had everywhere. And I've also been pushing a bunch of my planets towards producing more energy. It's just a problem that if you have... the Vaadwaur are a slaver race, and slaves are not good at producing science and energy. They're good at producing food and minerals. And yeah, you have to have a strategy that counteracts that, so that you can have a fleet moving around. And yeah, there I've discovered that the Kravik have actually started to colonize that planet. I looked at how long it will take, and I basically decided to let them colonize that planet before I'm going to take them. I wanted to clear out the south, because the Laridians, the white guys, have actually started to colonizing further and further down south. And that's actually the strategy I wanted to use. I wanted to move into the planetary core, which is defended by strong fleets, but probably also has some interesting tech maybe, and some worlds that I can settle. Just create a power base in the center of the galaxy. That's basically my plan, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, okay. We now have another cruiser ready, so that's looking good. Looks like I'm building a couple of smaller ships as well in Salvador Prime, a couple of patrol cruisers. I don't think I had a lot of those. I always tend to roll with the bigger ship types if and when I can. Although numbers do matter in the mod. You have a bunch of ships of one type. You can sort of swarm the enemy, especially if you go for high evasion ship builds, which I didn't do in this game. I actually went for the heavy hull types, trying to get as much oomph as possible. There I am, upgrading my fleets again. But I think I'm kind of strong enough now to take on my neighbors in the south. I have dealt with my energy problem. Yeah, and you can see that I'm building assault armies now so that I can take those planets quicker. We're sending another cruiser up from the south. So that's looking good. Yeah, another 750. So we're at 3,700, 4,000, 4,700. So at this point, I'm kind of feeling like I should definitely do something about my southern neighbors, which means sending the fleet to their borders and trying to take them over. I guess I stopped that one cruiser that I was building. And yeah, I'm looking if I can actually vassalize these guys, which I'm then doing to sort of make all their colonization efforts mine. I didn't want to leave them. Would have probably been better to just take their planets and wait those 10 years, but oh well, we'll integrate them at some point. At least we'll get our whole system, or our whole sector under lockdown. Renaming my fleet Beware the Vaadwaur. For the observers, if they should actually look at my fleet. I don't think they've actually noticed that one. Or for anyone else who encounters my main fleet. I haven't really met any of the human players as of yet, which is a bit sad. I would have liked to meet the human players earlier, but yeah, what can you do? That's just how it goes. And I'm attacking these guys now. Well, almost. Still waiting for my transport fleets to be done. And what I'm going to find out is that I'm not able to just jump through the territory of the blue guys. So basically the white ones, the Lyridians, are untouchable for me. There's my fleet, 5k, moving into the system right next to their capital. And yeah, I'm sort of going through different options, deciding what planets I want them to seed. And then in the end I decide that vassalization of the southern guys is probably the best, since the grey guys can't really leave, they can't really do anything here. They have no way of getting out. But I do think that at the end of the session they had a defensive pact with the Kravik, which was going to pull them into another war. Okay, guess I'm redesigning the fleet. I think the transport ships weren't all that well protected at some point. Okay, there are the transport fleets merging up. Looks like I didn't get all that much done in that session, but as I said, it went very, very slowly. Very slowly. And we're ready to declare war now. Still going through the options. And then I'm deciding to go for vassalization, because it's just 100 war score, which is pretty nice. So what we're going to do is move into their capital planet, because these guys are the obvious target, trying to take out their fleet and their and their base was the idea, and that worked pretty well. I didn't think we even lost a ship in this one, although I was attacking the spaceport, and the targeting of these fleets is a bit odd. No, we actually lost a ship. I think we lost a patrol ship. But our admiral is gonna gain some additional experience, which is gonna make up for that. And I was sending the transport ships in there with them to maybe give the other guys some additional targets. Okay, we took that now. And our fleet power has gone up because the admiral gained some experience. And now we're gaining advanced prototypes, I think is what I'm researching. We took their capital planet. Now we're going to take out their second planet, basically neutralize them. And then at some point I'm going to realize the reason why the Lyridian fleet didn't come to me, didn't try to help their ally, was actually that they couldn't get through. They just had no way of getting through their neighbor, I guess. Guess they rivaled. So at this point I decided that I had to go down there. Well, first we're going to take their other systems. I'm trying not to destroy their mining stations, just because I wanted to take the other planet before their friends happen. We have some unrest. Or an unrest event that actually reduced unrest. It was quite difficult to keep those northern slaver planets under our thumb. I had to build massive amounts of defense armies. Slavery does have its costs now. Taking down that spaceport, there's basically no one to challenge us. They lost their fleet. We have built up our fleet to 5k now because I sent in another destroyer. Bombarding down the fortifications. Doing my best to make that happen. Problem is that we won't get those planets, but I think they're the easiest ones for me to take later on. They're just 2 planets. It's not a problem. There's another destroyer coming that I'm trying to merge into the fleet. Because we got, I think very recently, we actually got some auras for those destroyers. And then I'm declaring war on these guys now. Trying to take all their planets. Because I realized that I couldn't get past them to my war goal. So I thought I might as well attack these guys right now. And they are allied with that 1 planet miner down there on the Kraos system. But they didn't have a strong fleet. They were actually rather weak. The only thing that I couldn't do is take Kraos, so I decided to completely take one of them and not leave their alliance intact, which is might have been a mistake. For some reason I didn't get a truce with them though. And we went into the system. You can see that their fleet is fleeing now. They're trying to get out of the system. They're actually hiding in another one. I'm not sure why they're doing that. They have a tiny Federation fleet with 500 strength. But yeah, it doesn't help them. We're gonna go after their homeworld right now, trying to take that one out. Because that one needs to go. Just removing that spaceport. Yeah. Come on. It'll be gone. Any second now. Any second now. As I said, the game was going real slow. They managed to squeeze out another destroyer just before their spaceport went down. That was a waste of resources. And we found a primitive civilization, which we're probably going to take over soonish. Over there, yeah. Just at the edge of our borders. Probably going to take those. I don't want to leave those for the Borg. All the pops that the Borgs get, all the pops that the Borg get will help them to become stronger and stronger. Okay, at this point I think that the sectors are probably mature enough to send me some stuff. We're also having some more credit problems now at this point, but since I have to fight the war, I really don't have the time to micromanage my planets. I'm actually looking forward to a period of peace where I can do a little bit more micromanagement again, a little building up of our planets. On the other hand, our mineral income is really good. We're actually marching fast towards the 300. We've already surpassed 250 mineral income per month, which is a pretty good amount of mineral income, I'd say. That's alright. Although ships are more expensive in this mod than in the base game. You can also have less ships though, so I guess it sort of balances itself out. There's their fleet. We're trying to catch them. They're trying to run away. Cowards. Yeah, that's where they ran to. We already took their capital planet. We're 56% towards winning the Lyridian war. We are 39% towards winning this war. And after destroying their fleet and taking their planet, I think we're almost done, actually. Which allowed me to take a couple of planets with intact starports, too, I think. Okay, spaceport is going to down any second now. Yeah, I almost have no one left. And I'm upgrading a couple of my star bases because I realized that I'm over naval cap. So trying to remedy that fact was what I wanted to do. Now we're invading Shulmak. I mean, they don't really have any troops on the ground. Those were not very highly populated planets, which has the downside of actually pushing up my tech costs quite a bit. I'm not too happy about it, but on the other hand, what can you do? This really needed to be done. I need to eat my smaller neighbors at this point to look forward. I would probably have to go for some alliance with another human. I mean, apart from my non-aggression pact with the Borg, we're probably, yeah, sort of depending on my strategy for them, which is never a good thing. I haven't really formulated what I want to do myself. I actually was resigned to just being eaten by them really fast. And yeah, now we have to decide what kind of starship designs we want to go in. I went for engineering because I can then stack on massive amounts of shields to really make my ships as tanky as possible. Yeah, and here I'm redesigning the ships. The thing is that I couldn't even push the upgrade to my fleet before we managed to before we ended the session, so that was not all that nice. Okay, so now I won that war. I took those planets, I put them all in one sector. I'm trying to settle a couple of my own pops on those onto those planets, just to make sure that I don't neglect my own population and that my whole empire only consists of slaves. That's never a good thing. Look at historical Sparta for what happens then. I'm paying pretty dearly in terms of influence cost, though, so that's not great. But yeah, now I have finally access to the Lyridian Empire. Trying to finish these guys before the session ends. This was already rather late in the session. I'm taking Tuck over here really quickly, but then I have the problem that they are going to play cat and mouse with me. So the AI is apparently has already researched a really fast warp drive that allows him to jump out of the systems really quickly. And I basically wanted to leave their capital system intact. I wanted to leave them their spaceport. And that's why I didn't go into their home system right away, which I should have probably done just to finish the war as quickly as possible. I mean, really, there wasn't really any sense in dragging it out. We're already 76% towards winning, so yeah. But since I was going to take them over as a vassal, I thought maybe just leave their capital spaceport intact so that they can keep their fleet. I was also trying to avoid destroying that one. Although we're probably better off just trying to take out the spaceport and take their capital and leave them their fleet intact, because they would probably join us if we can actually get them to be loyal. If they're not loyal, we're gonna have to do something else probably at some point. But I'm pretty sure that I can actually make them loyal in one form or another. None of my construction ships are working at this point, because I need the science ships to look through all our new territories. Probably don't need 4 construction ships anymore at this point. I'm not sure. Yeah, there is where I decided to go for the fleet, and now I'm just playing cat and mouse with them, going back and forth for quite a while. I have another cruiser trying to join up with the fleet. Really wanted to push my upgrades for the engineering variants for destroyers and cruisers, but that wasn't going to happen. I just played cat and mouse with these guys forever. It was so annoying because it always looked like I could catch them, and then they were out of the system before I could get them. So at this point I decided, no, screw it, we're going to go for their capital planet. And then whilst I was flying to that capital planet, the game basically ended and I had to pause. And yeah, had to leave this unfinished. So I'm hoping that I can finish that in today's session. We'll see how it goes. If you want to see me live, I haven't really decided if I'm going to stream my point of view or if I'm just going to let the observers do it. But you can definitely see me play, even from the observer point of view, if you just follow the links in the descriptions. Thank you very much for watching. And I hope I see a couple of you guys for the multiplayer event. It has been a lot of fun. Still really fun to play with other Stellaris YouTubers and the devs of the mod. I think it's definitely one of the best mods for Stellaris, and it is also probably the best Star Trek game out there. So if you're looking for a good Star Trek game and haven't considered this, yeah, check it out. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.